This is ChunkYanille. I spent 1,000 hours completing every possible task in Yanille. Since then, I've spent another 1,000 exploring the world one chunk at a time. That was until I rolled a death chunk. For months on end, I've been locked here, trying to find any way to complete the near impossible tasks in my path. With the odds stacked against me, escaping this chunk will be the hardest thing I've ever had to do in this game. December 1st, 2024. 9 months ago. That's how much time has passed since the day that changed everything. The day I learned that if I was going to continue my journey across Runescape, I would need to overcome my biggest challenge ever. The day I unlocked a death chunk. As a one chunk man, I need to complete everything in a chunk before moving on to the next. And for this chunk, the list of tasks was unforgiving. Monotonous grinds, RNG nightmares, but now, 9 months later, I've checked off every single one of them except for one. The final obstacle between me and the world beyond these darkened borders. All I need to do is obtain one item. One very rare item. The Draconic Visage. To put it into perspective, most players will never see one of these drop throughout their entire RuneScape career. But because it can be dropped by the black dragons in this chunk, even at the abysmal rate of 1 in 10,000, I have to get one before I can leave. And the only way to do that is killing dragons. Lots of them. I have put everything I can into this goal. Last episode, I invested months of stockpiled resources into the grind for the Visage. I burned through millions of gold, all my arrows, even the few runes I had in my bank, and in the end, I walked away with 5,000 kills. But unfortunately, I didn't manage to complete that final task. And so here I am, back at square one. No Visage, no money, no nothing. It's honestly crazy to think that I burned through nearly 50,000 rune arrows so far, and technically I'm no closer to being done than when I started. That's just how RNG grinds work. But if I'm gonna complete this task, I need to find a way forward. I've been brainstorming some options, trying to think of any stone I may have left unturned. It's been a while since I showed my full chunk map, so let's take a look at it. These are the areas I have to work with. The answer has to be within these chunks. So far, I've mainly been relying on the Range Guild chunk. This is where I buy arrows from the shop, but arrows cost money. I spent over 5 mil on rune arrows last episode, and I don't have a great way to make more, at least not that I've found yet. There's a couple of options in these chunks, but none of them are good enough to make this genuinely sustainable. And the more I think about it, the more it's becoming obvious that that's one of the main issues. I need a way to kill dragons that's safe, quick, and, like I said, sustainable. Everything I've tried so far is some combination of those, but not all three. Rune arrows were safe because I was attacking from ranged, and very quick, but they weren't sustainable. Using melee combat would be sustainable and relatively quick, but the dragons would absolutely smoke me in head-to-head combat, so it's definitely not safe. I could buy cheaper ammo like bronze or iron arrows, which would be sustainable and safe, but that would double or triple how long each dragon takes to kill. It's just not fast enough, and we're looking at potentially thousands of kills. Since we're already brainstorming ideas, I did get some comments last episode with suggestions for how to deal with the situation. People suggested using a technique called flinching. Basically, an exploit that lets you get in one melee hit without retaliation. You just attack and then immediately take one step back. But the bad part is that you have to wait until the monster's health bar disappears, which takes a few seconds. This is unfortunately much slower than normal melee combat, but it is entirely safe. I'll give it a shot on this dragon and let you know how it goes. And of course, this stupid bridge is right in my way. Chunky Bridge strikes again. While he deals with that, I finally get to say something I've been waiting like 2 years to say. A true rite of passage. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Now wait, before you skip, you might actually learn something from this. Now I don't know about you, but I've never retained any actual information from those raid ads myself. So I'm gonna try to make this educational. Even if you've never played or never planned to, you can watch this and learn enough to at least get what everyone's talking about. First of all, it feels like every ad is offering a legendary hero, but if they're so legendary, why are they giving them away for free? Allow me to explain. Legendary is just one of the rarities of heroes in the game. It doesn't necessarily mean they're OP, but most require a lot of grinding. So having one to start can be really helpful. For example, right now Raid is partnering with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I find hilarious, but also it seems like a great way to start because it's pretty easy to unlock Michelangelo. He's a legendary you get for just logging in for 7 days. You can also play with Donnie, Raphael, Leonardo, April, and Shredder during the event. The more you learn about Raid, the more you realize that it's a game all about infinite progression, kind of like Runescape. And that's why they offer these crazy starter packs. They just speed up the beginning of that progression, as opposed to cheapening it. It's like how early quests are in OSRS. And now that you know all that, hopefully it makes more sense when I say that you can use my link or QR code to get a starter pack that immediately unlocks Tayrel, an epic champion, and another epic once you hit level 15. You can also pick from one of 4 promo codes to unlock a legendary of your choice. General consensus is that Sun Wukong is the best pick here, but keep in mind these promo codes only work if you go through my link. Raid is free to play on mobile and PC, so give it a try and let me know if this was educational. Thanks to Raid, now back to the video. Okay, it is done, and yeah, that only took like 6 minutes. Roughly the same speed as killing them with bronze arrows and about 1,000,000 times more effort. This definitely fails on the quick axis, and it's only barely safe because I honestly kind of suck at this. Another option I at least wanted to explore was these poison darts. I actually get these as drops from the dragons themselves, so it's not exactly sustainable, but they are poisoned, meaning they have a chance to apply a small damage over time effect. The poison is unfortunately super weak, only dealing 7 total damage, but I still kind of wanted to see how it impacts the kills. Alright, so I'm halfway through this dragon's health and I haven't seen any poison yet, so that's not a good sign. Hey, there it is, a whopping 2 damage per tick. Not game-changing for sure, but it is passive damage. What would be really cool is if I could apply this effect to one dragon while I kill the other, but the overall damage is just so low that it's probably not even worth it. Especially since it took half a kill to even get the poison to start dealing damage. Also, I just remembered that dragons naturally regenerate health 5 times faster than a normal monster, 5 health per minute, which means this poison would deal almost no damage at all. Still, the idea of poisoning a dragon and letting it die to passive damage is cool in theory. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. So, back to the plan. Flinching is off the table, poison is just not strong enough. I guess the next best move is to try to make money? I don't really see another way forward. Maybe I could downgrade from Rune to Adamant, but either way, this grind could go incredibly long and cost a fortune. I'll have to sell literally everything in my bank, and even then I'll probably end up needing to pickpocket NPCs, which basically automatically kills the quick side of the quick, safe, and sustainable triangle. But if it's my only option, it's just what I'll have to do. Or is it? I've been staring at this chunk map for days, doing my research and racking my brain for any way out of this, and I think I might have found something. Something I hadn't noticed before because it actually got changed while I've been stuck in this chunk. You see, sometimes Jagex makes a small change that goes generally unnoticed, but has a huge impact on my account. This has already happened once when they added clues to the pickpocket table for gnomes, which is the only way I was able to get this bow I'm using. And I think they did it again. A couple months ago, Jagex made an update to Castle Wars, the classic PvP minigame from my childhood, and one of the first chunks I rolled after leaving Yanille. That was well over a year ago, and I've long since completed all the tasks here, so I haven't really had my eye on it. And in the past, the only rewards from Castle Wars were the decorative armor sets, but it turns out that not too long ago, they added new rewards. Castle Wars Supply Crates. A single one of these crates randomly gives 3 items from its loot table, most of which are only useful in PvP scenarios. But, as I just discovered, they also contain the one item that I need to keep this grind going: rune arrows. The only problem is, they might be incredibly slow to get. Castle Wars games take 20 minutes each, and you only get 2 to 4 crates per game. Then again, with the amount of arrows you can potentially open in each crate, this might still be my best option. I've never opened one of these, so I honestly have no idea, but there's only one way to find out. Let's test it. To get supply crates, I have to play on the worlds designated specifically for Castle Wars. Apparently, they changed it so that playing on these worlds gives you something called plaudits, which I don't even know if that's a real word, but I guess it's like a different currency than the usual Castle Wars tickets, and plaudits can be exchanged for the supply crates that have the arrows. I don't think plaudits are based on participation or kills or anything like that, so I'm not sure if I'll actually have to play the game and contribute actively or if I can just chill, but we're just gonna hop in here and see what the vibe is. Okay, we're here. Not sure what most people do in this game. Are they just going to go hide somewhere? Are they going to actually play? I don't know. Is there like a AFK lobby? Is that Pennsylvania? I guess, is this where you go to AFK? Okay, this looks like where you go to AFK. All right, well, I'll get back with you after this game is over. Or, I don't know, if anything interesting happens. I'm assuming I'm just gonna stand here the whole time. Hey, I won. I didn't do anything, but I won. And do I also, oh, I have these plaudits. Okay, yes. So, I guess we'll buy as many of those as we can. And what do we get from this? We get, oh my God, dude. That is an amazing sight. 184 rune arrows, just like that. We already have 400 rune arrows back after 20 minutes. This seems genuinely incredible. I gotta get right back in. I have to get right back in there before another game starts. The crazy part is that I got that for doing literally nothing. That is insane that I got that for doing literally nothing. I guess this is at the least definitely worth trying out some more. And while I AFK for a while and build up a few more plaudits, let's talk about what exactly is in these crates. A Castle Wars supply crate can contain 11 unique items. We already know that they can give rune arrows, so taking that away, there are 10 items left. 4 of them, these spell sacks and Castle Wars ammo, are completely useless to me and have basically no sell value to the general store, so these are essentially dead rolls on the drop table. Another dead roll is the Castle Wars tickets, which I already have a ton of, and they can only be used to buy decorative armor, not more supply crates, sadly. Of the 5 items left, 4 of them are blighted supplies, aka they can only be used in PvP situations. Normally, that wouldn't be of any use to me, but if I really wanted to be risky, I could take these into a PvP world where I could be attacked anywhere. The only real reason I could ever see to do that is to use these blighted super restore potions. These are my first real substantial way to restore prayer, although the risk is so high that it's probably never going to be worth it, though it is an interesting idea. And the last possible reward from the supply crates is rune javelins. While I can't actually use these for any kind of combat, these things have a very solid sell price and come in big batches. In a world where I do end up opening a lot of crates, I could turn these javelins into liquid cash that could be spent on more arrows if need be.
The way opening a crate works is that it randomly rolls one of these 11 items 3 times, which means there's a lot of variance from crate to crate.
So if I'm gonna get lucky on 1 or 2 items, I definitely want them to be the rune arrows and rune javelins. Okay, so I've been at this for a while now and I've racked up a handful more plaudits, so it's time for the real test. We're gonna turn these in and find out if that was a fluke before or if this Castle Wars method is genuinely legit. I've got 16 crates, so let's see what we got. Okay, I was genuinely so stunned by what we got from this that I forgot to save the clip of me actually opening them, but you'll just have to trust me. This is what we got, nearly 1,000 rune arrows. And that was for just about 2 hours of AFKing. When you really think about it, this might actually be just as fast as buying arrows from the shop, even if I did have the money. Between the time I have to spend killing chickens for feathers and world hopping to buy the arrow tips and then fletching them, no joke, this might actually be faster. So yeah, I think it's fair to say that this is officially the method I've been looking for. It's completely sustainable, it's gonna give us those rune arrows for quick kills, and of course, safe. It hits all the marks, and as an added bonus, it's basically completely AFK. That means more time for editing, and honestly, I'm just glad to not have to spend all day world hopping. I think the next move is to just do this. A lot. I'm gonna spend literally an entire day here and get as many plaudits as I can so I can get a sense of how many we could feasibly get in a day. Boy, they sure are working hard over there. Me too, though. Someone's gotta stare at this wall, and by God, if it has to be me, well, I'll do it.
Driving. You'll enjoy the AFK.
Drive safe. Come on, man.
This is what Castle Wars is all about, isn't it? So I've spent pretty much all day playing Castle Wars, and I've ended up with 79 plaudits, which means 79 Castle Wars crates. Honestly, I'm really excited to find out just how many supplies I get from this. Here we go, let's open these bad boys up. Come on, let's see some rune arrows. None so far. Okay, this is not so good. Oh boy. Did I overestimate this? Time to find out.
The final total of arrows after doing this non-stop for like 9 or 10 hours today, 4,325 rune arrows. Actually, I just did the math, and that's pretty much right on target for what I should expect from that many plaudits. Though in terms of time, that's maybe a little on the slow side. I do think I was on the losing team like 80% of the games for some reason, so maybe just a bit unlucky there. But wait, what am I saying? I just sat there all day, barely clicking on my screen, and now I have enough arrows for hundreds more kills. This is genuinely amazing, and I really do think it's on par with the shop hopping I was doing to make money before, but just infinity times less work. So yeah, at this point, the plan is now incredibly simple. Spend a day at Castle Wars, shoot the arrows at dragons, rinse and repeat. And based on this, I think a full day of Castle Wars should get me enough arrows for 2 to 3 long days of killing dragons, so I'm geared up and ready to go. However, before we just dive in, I've come across some interesting information that kind of changes the scope of this whole dragon grind. Let's talk about some fun probability facts. Last episode, I left off disappointed that I killed 5,000 dragons, halfway to the 1 in 10,000 drop rate, and didn't get a Visage. But since then, I've learned some things that made me feel actually a little less bad. You see, 5,000 is half of 10,000, but it's not exactly the halfway point. Let me explain. It's easier to think of it like this. If a million Joshes were all grinding for the Draconic Visage, one might get it at exactly 10,000 kills, and another might get it by 5,000, and another at 2,000, one at 4,392, 12,023, and so on. All of these Joshes would create a distribution of data points where each got their first Draconic Visage. We only need one after all. Now for the interesting part. If we take that Josh data and graph it on a chart that looks like this, we can see an interesting pattern form. This is a cumulative distribution graph. At the bottom we have the number of kills, and on the left we have what percentage of those million Joshes have already gotten at least one Visage by then. For example, by 500 kills, 4.87% of Joshes have gotten their Visage. At 3,000 kills, 25.91% got it. And at 5,000 kills, my current kill count, only 39.35% would be done with the grind. Okay, so now we know I'd be done in 40% of these hypothetical scenarios. So what? Well, that leads to another interesting question. What does it mean to be lucky? For me, it's as simple as a coin toss, 50-50 odds. If a million people each flipped a coin hoping for heads, half of them would get it and half wouldn't, on average. You'd probably say that the ones who got heads were lucky and the ones who got tails were unlucky. So to apply that logic to the Josh graph, there's some number on here that separates the lucky half from the unlucky half. The breakpoint where 50% of our hypothetical Joshes will have gotten the Visage and 50% haven't. The statistical coin flip number. And that number is 6,931. If you know your math, you might recognize that number. It's the natural log of 2 times our drop rate of 10,000. Back on our graph, 50% of the hypothetical Visage grinds will end at or before 6,931, and the other 50% of them will have to go longer. A small percentage will have to go much, much longer. At 30,000 kills, 5% of Joshes still haven't gotten their Visage, so let's hope that's not us. All of this is to say that I've still got almost 2,000 dragons until I can even consider myself unlucky. So that's the new goal. Get to 6,931 kills and hopefully get the Visage before that, if I'm lucky. Also, a huge shout out to my friend Bree for her help with the math here, and if you like this kind of RuneScape data science, I highly recommend checking out these videos as they helped me understand this whole world of drop rate probability and are really well made. Ow. Welcome back, I suppose. Thank you for that smack there, my friend. I've missed you too. And yeah, well, it's time to get settled in for some more classic dragon grinding. That was the first trip of dragons that I ever got 4 adamant bars in one inventory. Is it a sign? A sign to stay adamant to my goals? Anybody?
Okay, this is genuinely not even funny at this point. Another rune two-hander that's nearly a 1 in 3,000 drop, and I have 4 of them. Bro, what? What are these drops right now? I just got 4 fire runes back to back. It really feels like the game is trying to tell me something. I don't know what, but obviously the RNG is interesting right now.
Maybe this will be the time. This is it.
This is it? I don't think that was it.
It's definitely not going to be this time.
Yeah, definitely not this time. Like you said, not this time. Good call, good call. I gotta say, it feels so good to not have to be quite as precious with my rune arrows since they're not as finite of a resource as they were before. I don't have to chase down every single random one-off arrow that lands somewhere weird. Not the milestone I was hoping for, but one that I will take anyway. 52 crafting. I've been dropping all my XP lamps on crafting as a sort of future-proofing method, just in case I run into some awkward crafting grinds down the line. Never did I think that I would be seeing 92 hit points here at these dragons. Or did I think that? Maybe I did think that. Got another big turn in here. 119 plaudits. Let's do this. Watching that rune arrow number go up and up is so fun. 6,000 arrows. Oh, that is beautiful. Let's turn these into some dead dragons. Mystery box time. Unless there's a Visage in here, I don't really care. Random cabbage, my man, it is not the time to show back up. What is the first thing that comes to mind when I say 73 prayer?
Priest.
Yeah. Religion.
Piety.
Nope, no, not piety.
What? Piety.
Piety's not that.
That can't come to my mind first. It's a word
Not allowed.
association
Nope.
game, motherfucker.
And a very anticlimactic 6,000th dragon kill. 6,000 kills done. Throw the loot tracker up on screen. I'll be damned if I don't at least get to that 50-50 mark though.
Is that Yanille himself? Father?
Alright, it's time for another big turn in here. If these tickets don't get me to that halfway point, then we're gotten really unlucky, so let's open them up. Last 2 withdrawals. Let's see some big rune arrows in these. Rune arrows, come on! Okay. 130 plaudits, that took a couple days of AFKing, and got 7,500 arrows to kill some dragons with. That's got to be enough to get to that halfway point. And there is kill number 6,500. Still no Visage, but we are crawling towards that breakpoint. Also, I got a rune bar off the rare drop table. Woohoo! More rare drop table, although I am honestly more excited to see 67 nature runes than many other things. Like that. Rune battle axe. Do not care about that at all. I guess it's free money, but just give me the Visage, man. Well, that's an inconvenient time to disconnect, certainly. That's probably a dead chunk man right there. Yep. Rip. Hate it that just happened. That is so inconvenient. Well, my friends, we have reached the moment that I have been grinding towards for the past few weeks. The 50-50 breakpoint is upon us. I currently have 6,930 kills, meaning that this is the last run of the dragon that I will make while I'm still amongst the lucky 50% of those infinite theoretical Joshes. This last kill right here, kill number 6,931, decides the metaphorical coin flip. Lucky or unlucky, it all comes down to this one dragon.
And as expected, nothing. But can you imagine how crazy it would have been if I'd actually gotten it right there? Anyway, nearly 2,000 kills so far in this video, and this is kind of the turning point. Knowing that statistically I had a 50% chance of getting it by now just makes this grind feel kind of sad. I mean, I have the method down now, but how far am I gonna have to go with this? Am I really gonna have to do 10,000 kills? Or even 20,000? Statistically, there's a 13% chance that I go that dry. And given that I already just lost a 50-50, those odds are starting to look genuinely possible. The more I consider that potential future, the more I'm starting to think that maybe I was wrong to try this grind. I mean, I hate to say it, but I got a lot of comments saying that the Visage is a meme grind and that I should just save myself the trouble and backlog it. But I really wanted to prove them wrong, especially after getting the Smoldering Stone, and show that I could find some way to make it work. Some unconventional solution or something. And with Castle Wars and 99 ranged U shortbow, I guess I have, but the reality of this grind is that it could realistically keep going for so much longer. I'm actually gonna take some time to think this over and just keep doing Castle Wars in the background for now. I'm not really sure what conclusion I'm hoping to come to that I haven't already had, but maybe a little break from the dragons would be good for me right now.
So it's been a few days and I've been mulling this over in my head, and I think I've come to a conclusion.
There's a completely unknown amount of work ahead of me. It could be weeks, months, but I can't just let that stop me. End of the day, I do this because you guys support me. Your motivation has carried me through some crazy grinds in the past, and I don't want to let you down. Especially not now, since you all just helped me achieve one of my dreams, whether you knew it or not. As of this video, the channel has officially hit 100,000 subscribers, and the only thing I can say is thank you. Thank you all so much. I remember when I hit 1,000 subscribers and how massive an accomplishment that was to me. So to anyone who leaves a comment or comes and finds me in game, or especially to my Patreon and channel supporters, you don't know how much your kindness means to me. Seriously, it genuinely keeps the channel going. But like I was saying, I've really been thinking this over, and the channel milestone made me realize something. I've actually been in almost this exact situation before. The whole fishing trawler saga. That was another death chunk scenario that I was actually able to find my way out of by brainstorming with people from my community. Together we discovered a pretty incredible workaround to my issue and crushed the grind in record time. Moment of truth, is our theory correct? Oh, it worked, you guys. It worked.
Oh god. How many? How many?
Almost 5,000 XP. Holy shit. And there's been something lingering in the back of my mind that gives me just an inkling of that same feeling. So before I really face a decision of whether to keep going like this, I think I have one last avenue to explore. Remember this? Still, the idea of poisoning a dragon and letting it die to passive damage is cool in theory. This random one-off comment sparked what seemed like an innocent question. What if somebody else poisoned the dragon? Well, I got to researching this idea, and what I discovered was an incredibly deep rabbit hole. I've had to learn things about Runescape that I think almost nobody knows. But before I tell you what I found, I need to lay some groundwork so we're all on the same page. I'm an Iron Man. I can't trade other players or benefit from them in basically any way. Jagex made sure this applied to combat too. If any other player attacks a monster I'm attacking and deals any damage at all, I get this little error icon and the kill is no longer valid, making it so that Iron Man can't get outside help with combat. But as it turns out, there is one loophole to this: poison. Because poison is a status effect that deals damage over time, the game can't actually tell which player that poison came from. Because of this, poison damage applied by another player doesn't invalidate an Iron Man's kill. So all that is to say that if another player poisons a dragon, it would actually work. I could kill it and still get credit. But there is one glaring problem with this. Seemingly every form of poison requires you to deal some damage to apply the effect, meaning I can't get credit for the kill. So this is where my research started, and I dove down the rabbit hole to answer one question. Is there a way to apply poison without dealing any damage? I dug through page after page on the wiki, but the more I looked, the more I came to the same conclusion. No, it's just impossible. Whether it's a poisoned weapon, poisoned arrows, or even spells that poison, they all need to do damage first. In each case, the dragon would be tagged as someone else's kill and I wouldn't be able to get any drops. At least, that's what I thought, until I came across a video by Rendy. If you don't know Rendy, this guy is the certified master of exploiting game mechanics to do unconventional things, and he discovered something very interesting. It's actually possible for the game to forget that a player ever attacked a monster, essentially resetting it to a clean slate that can be anyone's kill, including an Iron Man. But this only happens if the monster regenerates to full health. Now, maybe you can see where I'm going with this. If you were to hit a very low amount of damage, say 1 damage, and poison the monster with that hit, and then have it regenerate to full health, you'd in theory be able to set up the dream scenario. A monster that's poisoned, taking passive damage that isn't attached to any player, and the game has forgotten who originally attacked it, so it's essentially up for grabs. Anyone can kill it and get the drop. Once I realized that the poison idea was possible, at least theoretically on paper, I knew I had to try it. There are still a lot of details to fill in, but thankfully, I have just the people for the job. I contacted the Secret Agents, aka my personal squad of elite gamers who are experts at tackling this type of uncharted territory. And by that, I actually just mean some very kind and patient people who hang out in my Discord server that are willing to sacrifice some of their time to help me out. But we do have a good track record of making real in-game discoveries. This is the same group of people who helped me figure out the fishing trawler exploit, so I'm hopeful that we can figure this out. Before I explained to the secret agents what the plan was, I put the pieces together on one final detail that really made this seem feasible. If you've been watching for a while, there's one thing about black dragons you've heard me say over and over.
The health regeneration problem. Black dragons regenerate health 5 times faster than most other monsters. They regenerate health at 4 or 5 times the normal rate. Dragons regenerate health extra fast.
It turns out, this is actually going to be massively to our advantage, and it's all because of the very specific math behind how poison works. You see, when you apply poison to an enemy, it doesn't start dealing damage immediately. It actually takes 18 seconds from the time you apply it to the first tick of damage to occur. Because you had to deal some damage to get the monster poisoned in the first place, that means there's an 18-second long window for it to regenerate to full health, thereby setting up the dream scenario. And it just so happens that black dragons are among the very few monsters with accelerated health regen. They regenerate 1 HP every 12 seconds. Which means mathematically there is a 100% chance that a dragon dealt exactly 1 damage will regenerate to full health within 18 seconds, making them the perfect monster to use this bizarre health regen exploit. There's something so satisfying about the fact that this health regen issue that has been plaguing me since day 1 might actually be the reason that this whole thing works. But we're still missing one key ingredient, a way to apply poison while dealing minimal damage. Yo.
What's going on?
Hello, mate. How you going?
What's going on in here?
I have no idea. I just got here.
Yeah, look at everybody in here right now. This is amazing. Anyone have any questions before we dive in? I explained to the secret agents this concept of the dream scenario. A dragon that's poisoned but is still valid for an Iron Man to kill. We got to work trying to figure out the best way to make this happen, and that started with looking back at Rendy's video to see how he was applying poison. And turns out, he wasn't. Rendy actually used something better than poison, venom. It's identical in most ways, but venom is like poison on steroids. Poison starts at its maximum damage and slowly decreases over time. Venom, on the other hand, increases over time, up to a maximum of 20 damage every 18 seconds. But what's maybe even better than the damage is that there's a way to apply venom 100% of the time.
Believe it or not, I am not experienced with how this venom cheese works.
It's such a weird, specific set of circumstances to make it do what you want it to do.
I think technically the only level requirements for the cert people is 78 magic.
Why do you need the magic? Oh yeah, for the
staff.
The staff, yeah.
Which staff guarantees the venom?
The Trident of the Swamp.
This strategy requires very specific items. In particular, the Serpentine Helm paired with the Trident of the Swamp. By equipping both of these, any damaging spell that lands is guaranteed to apply venom.
So yeah, I've got Trident of the Swamp, Stirp Helm, which is fully charged, Curse Amulet of Magic. So yeah, I've got everything.
And there's one more very important item, the Cursed Amulet of Magic. This was introduced when they changed the max hit of the elemental spells. Back in the day, Wind Strike could only max hit a 2, but nowadays it can hit up to 8.
This is relevant to us because our goal is to deal as little damage as possible while still inflicting venom using the Trident and Helm combo. What this amulet does is it gives minus 80% magic damage, essentially bringing Windstrike's max hit back down to 2, making it the weakest spell in the game and thus very ideal for our goals here. But yeah, I think let's basically give it a shot. People at the bank, can you come over here when you're ready and we can all go together? Come up to the top of the tower, the Josh route. I'm just gonna go into the dragons and we will get this first little bit of testing done. Is that a strike? Wind strike or a wind bolt?
Oh, whoops, I brought Wind Blast. Shit. Right. BRB.
It's imperative that the secret agents only use Wind Strike. Any other spell will deal too much damage, and the dragon won't be able to regenerate to full health. This is only gonna work if you hit exactly 1 damage here. So as soon as we hit a 1, yes, okay, yes, perfect, okay. Nobody else deal any more damage. We literally just need to wait 18 seconds, and in theory, that should be the setup. That should be exactly what we want to have happen. Okay, there it is. The first tick of venom. The dragon should have regenerated, and that means that it should count for my kill. We're only gonna know for sure once it dies though, and if I see if I get any loot.
Ooh, that's a chunky hit.
Almost there. Oh, and the venom last hit. Okay, I don't think that matters. This should still work. Yo, we did it.
Nice.
We got it to work, yo.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yes, that is so good. So it is genuinely possible. And that definitely sped up the kill. That was like 60 seconds or something, even shorter.
Yeah, that is huge.
It was really short. And so, after much research, setup, and testing, this has proved that yes, it is indeed possible. Under these very specific circumstances, another player can massively increase the speed of my kills by helping me venom these dragons. The question now is, how far can we push this thing?
You know, you can't set up 2 in one world, actually, yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That probably will help.
So I'm gonna finish this one off, and while I do that, you try to get that one venomed. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, and it should just start taking damage now. Yep, there it is. Wow, this is literally exactly what I was picturing. This is literally like the exact dream. Killing one while the other dies to venom. This is so perfect.
Might I suggest we have one person with a trident tag both dragons for you, and then we just message you and go, we've got 2 dragons this world, and then you just wild jump in? I think that could work as a mechanic.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think we can use the world directly next to it. 574. That one's completely empty.
All right, 574. So I guess somebody hop there and start trying to venom a dragon. For this new plan, we decided to spread out across different worlds to see how many dragons we could get venomed at once. And since at this point there's only a couple of people with a setup to apply the venom, we just spread out to nearby worlds in the world list. But not too long after, I started getting my first world callouts.
There's one set ready for you on 573 if you want to hop.
So 573, I'll come and check. Yep. This dragon is venomed and I could kill it. That's so good. Oh my god. I don't know how many people we have to actually do the venoming. I think we have 2 right now. I'm
getting geared up right now too.
Okay, amazing.
So I've got 2 tagged in 569.
569? Wait, is that right? 569 is the
Yes.
Okay, sweet.
And then I will jump to 574 and start venoming some dragons.
All right, I'm coming to 574.
Yep.
So this... Okay, so that one isn't working right. I think whoever hit that must have hit a 2 instead of a 1. I got that like Iron Man like circle with a cross through it, like this is not gonna be your kill, which means I can't get any drops from it.
Okay, so we should kill this one and get another one to respawn.
Yeah, we should kill this one, yeah. As the team started to get their bearings and optimize a strategy, it was really cool to see things starting to work. But at the same time, we were running into some pretty obvious issues. First, Windstrike might be the lowest damaging spell, but it still has the possibility to hit a 1, good, or a 2, bad. If a Venomer hits a 2, chances are the dragon won't regenerate to full health before the venom kicks in, at which point there's no way to reset it to a fresh kill. This unfortunately isn't avoidable, but it does make this method overall less consistent and slower. The other big issue we were running into is a little known quirk of venom and poison mechanics that I've dubbed venom canceling. I didn't know this, but it turns out if you leave combat with an enemy you've venomed, the venom is instantly cleared. This could happen if you run away too far or hop worlds, meaning the venomers would need to stand there keeping the dragons in combat in order to keep the venom dealing damage. My job was to just swoop in at the last second and get the kill.
if I wait basically as long as possible, I let venom do more of the damage, right? Does that make sense? Like if it just stays there getting ticked with venom for like 2 minutes, it's gonna be at like half health or whatever when I get there.
573. Come grab this dragon before it decides to murder itself.
I just gotta hit it. Nice. Oh yeah, we got there. That's cutting it close. Oh, that's funny. Keeping the dragons in combat is gonna be one of the bigger tricks here. Yeah, the idea that it drops the venom when you go out of combat really kind of just like makes this like just like a little bit awkward to do. But it didn't take long for someone to come up with a clever solution to the venom canceling issue. Introducing the Splasher.
So maybe you tag it with the Staff of the Swamp Hit, that gives it the poison, and then the splashers keep on splashing that dragon for the poison to then start ticking over, which means you can then take over the kill.
Anyone who's played RuneScape for more than a day knows what's up with this guy. He's wearing gear with so much negative magic accuracy that he's guaranteed to miss every spell, also known as splashing. But even though it does no damage, splashing can hold a creature in combat.
That second dragon's poison, so if a splasher gets on that, yep, perfect, whoever did that.
That looks good.
And then I will jump to 574.
Yeah, okay. I was able to pull it off you and it's still venomed and it seems like it's my kill. So yeah, wow. This is such a crazy way to do this. Splashing gear is much more accessible than the hyper-specific venoming setup, so this opens up the door for a lot more people to be involved. A Splasher-Venomer duo was twice as effective as a single Venomer and could easily set up 2 worlds of Venom dragons together.
I'm coming to join the suffering.
Nice.
Still killing dragons.
Yeah, we are. We're kind of just started. This is kind of fun so far.
This is actually really quite interesting. It shows how quirky this game actually is.
With the new, more flexible strategy, a lot more people started joining and things really started to take off.
I got 1 tagged on 569.
573, you've got 2 venom.
567's ready.
Is anyone in 574 right now?
All out, what world you need a splasher?
575, I'm coming next.
582.
I have 2 and 569 tagged.
566 is ticking 20s.
I'll start getting this one with the 20s.
That second dragon's also tagged for you.
2 dragons taking 20s and they're both less than half health.
Oh, last hit. Wow, that's crazy. You just log in and just one hit a dragon like that. That's actually so funny. We're already getting pretty efficient with this. The secret agents had quickly become a well-oiled machine, and the more people that joined, the more kills we were getting. On my own, I was hovering at around 30 to 40 kills per hour, but with enough people, we could get upwards of 80 or 90 in that same time, with that number just increasing. But with so many people getting involved, some wanted to up the stakes. Let me introduce you to one of the characters in this story. This is Frog. Frog has recently come into some unexpected wealth.
Oh, if anyone has the stats but doesn't have the GP for it, let me know. I have zero problem funding any of this. I want to put it in perspective that one account on Delve has gotten 7 pairs of boots. That's around, I have about 4 billish from that.
That's actually insane. And in his newfound wealth, I guess he was just feeling generous because he had an idea that was going to make this whole thing a little more interesting.
Do you want to put a bounty on it, Josh? If a person helps you get it, they get like a bounty.
You mean people are gonna have a reason to do this besides just literally wasting their own time? I mean, yeah, I'm down. It's your money.
How much do you want to make it?
I don't know. How much do you want to make it?
Hold on, let me Google the price of something. Dragonfire Visage.
So
how about 100 Draconic Visages?
Yeah, how much is a Visage? Like 1.7 or something like that?
4.3 mil, I think.
Oh, 4.3? Okay, so it's like 400 mil.
Sure, it will go up when I buy 100 of them.
Yeah. And as if a 400 mil bounty wasn't enough, someone else wanted to up the stakes. We were recently joined by a player named Bunsen Gyro.
So I haven't seen the strategy that y'all are doing.
The main strat is to use a setup that guarantees putting venom on the dragons.
Okay, I'll help with this for a bit.
If you get it, then you win 100 Visages.
I'm an iron.
You need to buy all of them.
Bunsen Gyro was about to make a potentially very bad decision.
I've been thinking this chunk stuff sounds fun, but I don't know, this exact grind has really put me off from it. But I'll tell you what, if I happen to be the guy that helps with this, I'll start one. How's that sound?
Like if you're the one who finds the Visage.
Pulls it?
Yeah.
If you're the one who finds it, you will start a chunk series. Okay, it's not really winning.
Yeah, it's like a form of self-punishment. So the hunt for the Visage now had 100 Draconic Visages and potentially 1 Chunk series riding on it, and the motivation was higher than ever.
566 that's hitting 20s.
Got 2 dragons at half at 573.
After 73, 69 is almost
Do you have
gone.
a spare splasher for 566?
75 is basically almost done.
63 is going to be ready shortly as
We're
well.
taking 20s on 69.
63 is not ready. I hit a 2 on both dragons.
Wait, did you tag it?
Wait, why am I killing this? Sorry, I just went on autopilot. I'm sorry. I went on autopilot
Yeah, you
really
tagged
hard
it,
right there.
Gosh, you're throwing.
Sorry, I'm screwing up our rates.
567's ticking 20s. The one on the left got hit a 2, but one of the
Yeah,
one
that
on the
one's
right
good. It's basically
Wait, so the one on the left is good for you because I hit a 2 on it.
Sorry. I'm looking at it from the opposite direction. I have my camera in a weird angle. It was the one closer to the ladder.
Which side is the ladder? East?
Yeah, ladder dragon and obelisk dragon are really the right ways we should say it so that we always know.
So you need the ladder dragon killed.
Yeah, that one's screwed up.
Just now notice there's a color difference.
Yeah, there's like the black one and like the gray one. You could also call that one like the red one and the other one like the black one because the red one has like reddish wings.
What? Oh, I
It's
see.
like very slightly red wings.
I would call that brown.
I've looked at these 2 dragons for a really long time, so...
It's only been a few thousand hours.
We should just name these 2 dragons. We should give them names.
Ooh, we should.
Janice, the black one.
Okay, the Janice. Yeah, I like that. All right, so the one with the horns that go backwards is Janice. Oh, I just got 74 prayer.
Friends.
64 is low. You're gonna want to hop in and kill Janice soon.
Okay. All right. So if the Red Wings one is Janice, then what's the name of the other one? Greg.
Ready.
Janice and Greg.
I feel like that one. She just strikes me as a Greg type.
64. You have Greg low. Oh no, that's Janice. Sorry.
I love how quickly we've incorporated the names. Wait, does that mean that Janice and Greg are a couple? Like they live down here
No, they're
together?
divorced. They're chill with
They
each other.
just hate each other, and they're just
No, they don't hate each other at all. They're chill with each other.
staying together for the tax benefits.
Greg's the least important.
Yeah, Greg is less important. Janice wears the pants in this dungeon. As goofy as it seems to give names to the dragons, we were thinking of every possible way to streamline this process. Every minor optimization meant more dragon kills per hour and a shorter path to the Visage. And there were definitely still some areas to improve. There was still the issue of Windstrike being able to hit a 2, which throws off the whole method.
Yeah, I think I hit a 2 on that one, so I don't think it would have counted either way.
There's no like workaround to that, is there? Like you can't use Snare or something, or like.
I mean, if we could think of a better way to do it, like I'm all ears for sure.
Ensnare or Entangle have a lower max hit than Windstrike. Could we potentially hit fewer 2s if we could do that?
I like this idea. I really like this idea.
Windstrike, it's 1/3 of dragons should be hit by a 2.
Okay, the base max hit of Snare is 2, which is the same as Windstrike. So I don't know if we're gonna be able to reduce any further.
No, Windstrike is 8 because of the new
Oh,
thing.
right,
The
right.
changes, yeah.
Yeah,
But I don't know if Snare will Venom.
because it does do damage.
There is only
Also-
one way to find out.
Yeah, let's find out. The secret agents were potentially onto something here. Snare is a mid-level spell that's mostly used to hold a target in place for a few seconds, but not many people consider the fact that it also does nominal damage. Its base max hit is a 2. Windstrike can hit a 2, but remember, that's because the Cursed Amulet of Magic is reducing its damage by 80%. So, what happens when you combine the amulet with Snare's already low max hit?
I can't seem to hit positive numbers wearing the cursed thing with the bind. I'm gonna try Snare instead.
Bind doesn't do any damage.
Oh, it's the other one.
Yeah, Snare has a max hit.
That might be why. Okay, use Snare Venoms and is 100% ones.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're right. DPS calc says Snare max is a 1.
Yep, and it does Venom. That's the most important thing. It actually venoms.
That's amazing, yeah.
That's awesome. I'll have to re-gear.
That's crazy. Nice, the Snare tech, you guys. Did we just outsmart Rendy?
Or Rendy uses Snare and we weren't paying attention.
Yeah, or that.
The annoying thing with Snare is that... Wait, there's no annoying things. Never mind.
With some creative thinking, we were able to solve one of our biggest issues. Now, every single hit is guaranteed to be 1 damage, which makes properly applying the Venom way more consistent.
In fact, so consistent that I could barely keep up.
64 is low.
6 is ready.
Okay, 6. Which one should I go do first?
Go to his.
6.
And I have one on 582.
Sorry, which worlds are low again? Can you call one more time?
6-2 is ready right now. I'm hopping
6-4,
off of it.
6-2. Okay, 6-4 now, 6-2 next. Woo! Right on time. This one's just about to die.
I feel like you need an administrative assistant to help you queue everything up.
You should make a plugin that just tracks all of the dragon's healths.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Someone call Idle.
Wow, I literally couldn't hit that one in time and it just died to Venom. This is actually crazy. There's so much going on. I was genuinely getting overwhelmed by all the world hopping and keeping track of which dragons had the least time left. We mathed it out and found that each dragon dies exactly 4 minutes and 12 seconds after being venomed. That means for each dragon I failed to get to quickly enough, someone wasted over 4 minutes just standing there, and that was gonna be an issue. But there was a solution. We discovered a way to prepare a world that the secret agents referred to as cooked.
573 is just about cooked.
600's cooked.
All right, 610 is about to be cooked.
573 has been cooked. They're just regenerating a little bit, but it should still be low.
Cooking a world revolved around using a mechanic that, when we started this, we thought was an obstacle, but it turned out to be a huge advantage: venom canceling. Remember when I said that leaving combat with the dragon instantly removed any active venom? The secret agents realized that we could use that to essentially freeze a dragon at low health. All we had to do was wait until the venom nearly killed the dragon, then hop worlds, leaving it at low HP with no risk of dying prematurely. Do this to both dragons in a world, and that world is cooked. Cooked is so good.
Got them simmering over here, you know?
That's what it feels like. You know, they kind of like come to the appropriate temperature over time, and then
we're sous videing the dragons.
I love this vocabulary we built for this.
If all went well, a cooked world would leave both dragons under 10 HP, leading to some very fast kills. Yeah, this is the perfect scenario right here, where they both are at like 4 HP, and I just pop in, and they're just like shoot each with a bronze arrow, and they die. Dude, I've never done that before. A back-to-back kill, like they both are dying at the same time. That looks sick.
The amount of health the dragons have works out really nicely with the venom, though. That is very lucky. That like you can hop and they have like 4 health left, like 3 health left.
Yeah, that is really convenient. Whoa, that was a double timed kill. They both died in the same tick. That was crazy. That looked sick. At this point, it was hard to imagine a more efficient system. We'd achieved everything I'd dreamed of and more, and the results were undeniable. We were easily getting over 100 kills per hour, completely eliminating the need for castle wars, for stockpiling money, all those annoying logistics. The constant ebb and flow of resources that had me in shambles at the start of this episode is no more. With the Venom method, we had redefined the parameters of what it takes to grind out a Visage. From an uphill battle that could take upwards of 1,000 hours to under 100 hours to get the Visage on rate. Over the next couple days, we kept pushing at max speed, waiting for that drop. But in a way, it felt like I had already beaten the grind. To have solved this months-long puzzle, this question of how am I really gonna make this work in the long run, I finally had an answer. All of the insecurity of the past 9 months, the endless struggling and strategizing, the mental and emotional weight of this challenge, even without a Visage in my hand, it was already all gone. I had the answer. And I guess an answer was all I really needed. Oh my god! You guys!
What? No way! No!
You just got it!
What?
Yes. Oh my god! Oh my god!
No way!
No joke! No joke! Holy shit!
No way!
Oh, picking it up!
Oh, that's awesome!
Oh my god!
New video in 2 weeks. See you then.
Dude, oh, we're free!
Wait. What's your kill count? What's your kill count?
Kill count is 7,802 black dragons to receive the Draconic Visage. Holy shit. It's actually over.
We're still coming back tomorrow for fun, right?
Yeah, right. Let's just come back. Let's get another one. Wait, hold on. Whose world was this? 614.
This was mine.
It's Bunsen, bro. You get the 100 Visages.
I'm an Iron Man, by the way. Didn't I make a promise if I was the one that got you the Visage that I would start a chunk in?
Did you say that?
I do remember hearing that.
You did.
I did say that. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Time to spin up the series, baby. I get to say something right now that I've been waiting so long to say. That is a chunk task complete. And with that, the death chunk that was Tayrel has been defeated. And I get to leave these dragons and this dungeon and this stupid bridge behind. It's finally done. The wave of relief I'm feeling right now extends so far beyond just myself as a creator. There are so many people that knew exactly what this meant to me. The One Chunk community, the other creators supporting me behind the scenes, and even my real life friends and family who don't even play RuneScape. They could all share in my joy right now.
How happy are you right now?
I don't know, can you tell?
Oh, I bet you. I was like Tom. I was like, I don't think there's anyone happier on earth right now than that guy.
Yeah, it's true.
I was like, I'm more happy for him to get that than me going for whatever I'm going for.
Yeah, I know, right? There's like a spiritual weight lifted from like the greater like One Chunk energy.
Hello.
Hello.
Did something bad happen?
No, something good happened.
Oh, did you get it?
We actually got it.
Yo! Congratulations!
Thank you.
Oh my god, are you surprised?
I am shocked.
Wow, you sound so happy. I can hear it in your voice.
I'm so happy.
Looking at this, I mean, I'm feeling such joy. Looking at this image, I cannot imagine your own joy.
Yeah. We got there.
Yes, Josh. Yes. Oh my God. I was at dinner and I saw your call. I was like, oh, I can't answer this right now. And then I sat there. I was like, wait. I didn't even say anything. I just realized. I was like, oh my God. This is the craziest news of all time. I can't wait for the next chunk roll. It's been like 5 months, 6 months.
Yeah, longer.
Oh my God. I can't wait. This is amazing.
Cheers to the draconic Visage.
To the draconic Visage, folks. Cheers.
I need you to look at this.
No way.
You got it.
No way.
He fucking got it.
No way, dude. What a day.
7,800.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. You're free. You're free. I'm so happy for you, man.
Oh, that must feel so good.
Dude, that must be the greatest feeling of all time. I'd
You
love
are
to
the
see
goat,
the reaction.
bro.
Could not feel better. Oh, I literally feel like I just like got my life back. Man, it has been quite the week. Been taking some time away from grinding and just been chilling, basking in the glory. And of course, I have to get my obligatory 1 farming level per episode. There is 75 farming. Just been kind of taking it slow and enjoying my life, getting ready for the oncoming chunk roll and the changes that it brings. But for now, taking some time, enjoying the slow pace and anticipating what's to come. It's kind of impossible to recap a chunk like this. I guess I can show you the final loot from the dragon grind. Seeing that draconic Visage in there will never get old. I remember from the first moment when I rolled Tayrel that I knew these tasks would be the hardest thing I've ever done. But what it actually took to get here went so much deeper than I could have known. I found this screenshot from the first day I rolled Tayrel doing one of the first tasks here. Take a look at that playtime, 90 days. Now look at this, taken right after I got the Visage. That's a difference of 1,225 hours. 1,225 hours spent trying to deal with one singular chunk. That is crazy. The Hellhound grind was really the first true hurdle. So many late nights spent there, and it felt so good to open that first hard clue. All the item upgrades, the rune armor, the used shortbow, the insanely lucky score on the dragon spear, and of course getting my first 99 skill cape. This chunk really had it all. Of course, I couldn't have gotten through it without the help from the secret agents. Not only did they skyrocket the speed of the grind, killing almost 1,000 dragons in just a few days, but they made it a lot of fun.
That kind of community-driven discovery is what RuneScape is really all about. So thank you, secret agents. Oh, and by the way, Frog did pay out the 400 mil bounty to Bunsen Gyro, and even threw a dragon-themed drop party for everyone else. And Bunsen is in the process of starting that chunk series. If it exists when you're watching this, it'll be linked in the description, so go check that out. But this chunk is finally behind us, and in the end, this is what we have to show from it. The 2 items that have defined my life for the past 9 months. But the ironic thing is that they don't do anything for me. They essentially have no use to an account with my restrictions. They're just gonna sit in my bank for the rest of eternity. And you know, there's something kind of poetic about that. Being a one chunk man isn't about progressing in the ways that make typical sense. It's about creating this unique world that you really feel like you live in. A world where your journey is literally baked into the game around you. A world where each item in your bank tells a story. A world where rare items are less about how powerful they make you and more about how powerful you are for achieving them against all odds. And for me, that world is about to change. Next episode, I'll finally be rolling chunks again. There are so many directions this could go. It's simultaneously exciting and terrifying, but either way, it's gonna be a massive moment for the account, and I don't want you to miss it. So make sure you're subscribed. But for now, that's all I got. I'll see you on the other side. And until next time, bye-bye.